Hey y'all, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and today I'm joined by Squeaks.
Squeaks.
And we got a lot for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Stranger Things, The Boys. We got some of the latest news. We got headlines. We're going to talk a little bit about Thor, but it's pretty early, so we're not going to go into spoilers or anything like that. We're just going to say whether or not it's worth watching. And we got some network news. But first, how was your 4th of July? What were you doing? We had a week off for the podcast. Everybody in the network had the week off. What were you up to?
Oh, man. Let's just say I drank a little too early. Okay?
Yeah.
And the rest of my 4th of July for starting at like 1 o'clock was a struggle. So, yeah.
Pretty early on.
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you? Do anything?
I watched Jaws, which is like my tradition. That's like such a good movie. And then I just started watching Peaky Blinders, so it was fantastic. Just drinking beers on the couch. I pulled the couch up like right in front of the TV, which is so stupid. So it was like I was in a theater watching Jaws, and I was like, "Man, you all out there in the sun, forget that shit. I'm doing it right."
So. Peaky Blinders. So what? Season 1, episode 1? You started, or is it?
Oh no, I was watching the new season. Yeah.
Okay.
I still got 3 more to go. Okay. Are you keeping up on that? Have you been watching that at all?
Yeah, I just started last week, like the whole series. So.
Oh man, it gets so crazy. Like you are, they're so small time right now compared to what they are now in the show.
Yeah,
that's good.
I had too many good things, so I had to start it.
It's really good, and so the final season's out now, and then it ends off kind of complete, but there's still some openings, and they have a movie that they're making. So it's 6 seasons in a movie.
Nice.
Yeah. So for the network news, we've got a bunch of our shows are in between seasons. We do have the brand new show that just launched just for our Patreon and for Bitcade called From the Pages. Our premiere episode was all about Gore the God Butcher. So if you guys want to know about the character behind Christian Bale, check that out. It's 15 minutes. I think it's actually 18 minutes. It's supposed to be 15 minutes of, where the character's from and his origin story. All right. And, you were on what? You were on Trek Freaks and Disney Mom's Gone Wrong in 1 week.
Yes.
Like, pretty intense. Yeah.
Just being booked. Everybody wants me. Everybody wants to hear this voice.
What'd you think of that OG Star Trek?
I thought it was fun. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It's almost it's why I like Next Generation so much right now. So to go to kind of see where it all started. It was great. It was fun. It was just like the whole mystery behind the villain, the fog. It was neat without listen to Trek Freaks. I'm not gonna say everything, but yeah.
Yeah, and then Disney Mom's Gone Wrong. I tell you what, I was pulling my damn teeth out, or just pulling my hair out on that one. It was driving me crazy that like you're the Marvel expert, and then like the one thing that really drove me nuts was the fact they're like, oh, I think they kidnapped Loki. I'm like, no, Loki was abandoned. Like it was. Don't make Odin to be that bad of a bad guy.
I will say, I said it earlier, but Susie was asking some questions that I was like, oh, the fuck, I never even thought about that before, or whatever the case may be. Not that one, but she does ask other questions, and to me, I was just brain farting. And plus, like, I know I love like Marvel and whatnot, but when they asked me to do Thor, I'm like, I'm not a huge Thor guy, though.
Yeah, and so, Thor's like my favorite of the Marvel characters, so I was excited.
It was fun. It was fun to kind of not know some things as well too. So
it was a really fun episode. It was really good. Yeah. And I was like, Squeaks, correct him. I was editing it. Oh man.
At the same time, so we had our because Disney Moms, right? So playing the kids. Sarah kept leaving for our daughter waking up, and then I was like, shit, I'm here alone. Why aren't you here? You're the Disney mom. I'm whatever. So it was kind of a little messy on mine and Sarah's end. So
that's podcasting as a parent, though, in general. Like, how many times you have Marco in the background crying about something, or that's just that's how it is. It
was a mess. Mine was everywhere on that episode. So
check out geekfreakspodcast.com. We'll make sure to post every time a new episode comes out across all of our networks. The ones that are off season right now, they're both the ones that are off season right now are really cooking up some good stuff that they're already recording. So get ready for that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the news. We're going to be talking about Stranger Things. We've had the finale of the 4th season. What are your immediate reactions to this thing?
Oh my God. Okay, I'll just say this is probably my favorite season now, the more I think about it, because number 3 was like, I didn't think anything could top season 3. I love season 3, but then it's like, oh my gosh, they just have this plan. Whatever formula they're working with right now, it is actually working, and it's getting better.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I loved it. What about you? I mean, what did it live up to all your expectations?
It's so funny that you said that. Like, I didn't think anything could beat season 3 because I was 100% on board with you. And then yet in season 4, Vecna did a very good job as a villain. I wish we had 11 a little bit more participating with the others. I think she works really well with the others. Like her connection with them and kind of bouncing off of them, I think works really well. Much like when Thor's done with normal humans and he doesn't quite fit in, like there's something missing when it's not there. But it was so fantastic. And the music was so damn good. And I've been listening to Metallica for a week now. And I'm just like, and I love that Metallica straight up put on Hellfire Club shirts and replayed
I
Masters
saw
of.
that.
That was
Yeah.
like, yes, that's so dope. Yeah, that was super good. What were some of your favorite moments from this season?
All right. One was Vecna himself though, but it's the killings and how it happened. So it
Yeah,
was so uh it was like okay, say it's obviously it's based off the 80s, but it felt like the 80s too. And I know that's what most of the seasons,
of course.
it really feels
Yeah,
like. But the villain himself felt that way. It wasn't like a mind flare or a demigorgon or whatever. It literally was like the feel of like a Freddy Krueger or something. The killings though, just breaking the bones and the eyes and stuff. I was like, oh my god, like
yeah,
clinching up, right? Like I didn't
yeah.
know we were gonna go this far. Um, I did like they kind of kept the same formula as three, where we have different stories.
Hmm.
Obviously all intermingling and will connect eventually. I will say though, the story I did not care that much of was with Mike and Will, with
Yeah.
Jonathan and the pizza. That one was just until they got to L, then it was like, okay, now it's starting to get interesting. Um, Kind of whatever. Um,
Yeah, I think Jonathan, I think his name's Argyle, the pizza guy. I mean, I was just
mhm,
like so bored by those scenes, to be honest with you. Those were, I could
really,
have passed all those up. Yeah.
yeah. Just I didn't care about anything they were doing until they got to L.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, let's see. Another favorite scene, obviously, the iconic one now with Eddie on top of that trailer playing Metallica,
Oh,
right?
man.
And then being the hero when he kind of, if you, I mean, obviously, if you paid attention and whatnot, kind of knew something was going to happen because those hints of like I was
They
never a hero
foreshadowed
before,
it
blah
pretty
blah.
heavily. Yeah.
Exactly.
While
Yeah.
you're saying it
There's
though,
a
you're like, please don't mess this up, Eddie. Come on. Like, is there like,
yeah.
as you're saying, you're like, this guy's gonna die and he's one of my favorite new characters.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of foreshadowing actually that I found out after the fact of certain things, and it's like, oh
Hmm.
my gosh, man, you really had to pay attention because there are those hints there. Uh, any scenes that definitely stand out to you? I mean,
Yeah, it's hard to not mention, of course, the Eddie on top of the trailer, right? That
yeah,
that is such an amazing moment. And then it wasn't as part of the final episode or anything like that, but that moment when Max is being picked up into the air and she's
hmm,
barely saved, it's hard to make, and they did it twice in this season with her. It's hard to make a
yeah,
moment where a main character feels like they might actually die, like we might actually lose this character right now. This might be a Game of Thrones situation, and like when they the first time when they save her in the cemetery, and you're like, oh my god, what a cool scene! I can't wait to like
yeah,
see this on repeat, which I did. It's
hmm,
amazing. And then when they did it again at the end of this one, and also you start to see the limbs break, you're like, oh, well, then this is it. That she's gone.
yeah,
And the way that she, spoiler alert, guys, spoiler alert, just careful, blah, 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 blah.
yeah, yeah,
The way that they bring her back through 11 was like, oh, wait, 11's now actually, it's important that Max is coming back, but it's also important to realize that now 11's using an ability that she's never used before and bringing somebody back. And
hmm,
so she is now stronger than ever, and that's kind of the confirmation. Outside of just whooping Vecna's ass, the fact that she's able to bring Max back is like, okay, you're using Jesus abilities. Like, you're
yeah,
at the
yeah.
next tier now. You just leveled up. So, yeah, it was impressive. It was really impressive. I just like the pairings. That's one of the I think the best part about the show, outside of the '80s references, which of course, are always cool. But I always like the pairings, like when you have these, like Eddie and the kid with the teeth. I can't remember his name.
With the
Uh,
teeth,
yeah, the one that used to have like no teeth in the front. God, what's his name? Come on, I know people are screaming it at
Steve,
their.
like you talking about?
No, Steve, not Steve, not Steve. Um, God damn it, Frank.
Oh, Dustin.
Dustin, thank you. I'll add it on that.
Yeah, okay, 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 okay.
The pairing of Eddie and Dustin together, like that's such a cool combo.
Yeah,
And then you see like that relationship build, and then when Dustin's talking to his uncle later on, you're like, oh god, the feels.
yeah.
I love the pairings they do in this, and
Mhm.
Steve's always been a really good character, and now we finally see Steve kind of being worthy of who he's supposed to be. I don't know. It's just a damn good show, guys. It really
Yeah, it
is.
is. It is.
What are your predictions for Hawkins? It looks like Hawkins, it's the gateway to the upside down.
I got a couple predictions here. Okay. So I thought my money was on Max dying. Okay,
Yeah.
because I felt like her writing those letters had to come back and play some type of part, right? So unfortunately, because of how it ended with Elle having that ability to obviously Max's soul was sucked up, Vecna, you think she's dead, but with that heartbeat to where now she's in a coma, I'm like, fuck man. So she's not really dead. I think in
Right.
the beginning of season 5 we'll probably read those letters and kind of get us to think like, oh, she is, but somehow she'll probably come back. kind of lame, but we got to think like I guess this is not what the Diffie brothers said it best. It's not Westeros, it's Hawkins. So
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not. It's not going to be like that. So you
There's
might as
no
well
Ned
think the
Stark's
whole
dying.
cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, that's what they do. They bring new characters that you like or may not like. Like first season, you got Beverly or Beth. Beth was it Beth?
Oh, Barbara.
Barbara. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
got her. It's like okay, she's cool, whatever. She was just a person that died. But then you get to this season where you got Eddie, you love, and we kill him off. So they're just killing off really the new characters, kind of like Billy as well. So besides that, though, I've noticed we've gotten a little bit more of oh god, now you got me forgetting
Will.
names too now. What not Will's mom, Joyce,
Oh,
but
oh yeah.
the blonde hair lady.
Yeah. Mike's mom. Yeah,
Mike's mom. Okay, Mike's mom.
yeah.
I don't know why, but I was like, man, she's in this quite often. Okay, there is a poster that came out where they had each character's portraits, whatever on a poster in their house under it.
Hmm.
Well, Mike's mom's house was Vecna's house. Okay. I'm thinking that that's Vecna's sister. I think Mike's mom is Vecna's sister.
You think she survived? Because I thought
I,
Vecna done killed her.
I don't know. Just a little blonde girl. And now
Hmm.
that poster was released, and she's an older blonde girl now.
I wonder if the
I'm
age
throwing.
works.
I'm just throwing
Hey,
theories out
I'm
there. To
down
be
for
honest.
that. Yeah, yeah.
So that's my crazy theory out there.
By
Yeah,
the way,
that's
how
it.
dope is it that Vecna's dad is played by actual Freddy Krueger? Like I was just,
Oh man, when he popped up
that's
in
so
that
cool.
in that jail cell, whatever he was in, I was like, oh shit, because it was basically this villain is kind of like Freddy-ish, right?
Right? Yeah. Even Duffer
And
Brothers said
like
like that was the inspiration. You know.
which was totally fine. I
Yeah,
love Freddy Krueger, so
of
but then
course.
they kind of honor him in a way. I feel like, and having him in that scene was wonderful.
Yeah, I
So
loved it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Predictions for
so.
you?
I think Will's gonna be a bad guy. Not necessarily a bad guy. Like I think he'll have a redemption at the end. Yada yada yada. He's Will.
Yeah.
But first off, not only does he have like the hair standing up again, which you haven't seen since like season 2, but he was the reason season 1 was it. Because we had to find Will. Will survived by himself, a kid in the Upside Down. Will has a connection to the Upside Down that I think is going to be to Vecna's advantage. He's going to use Will to help attack Hawkins. I think.
Okay. Okay.
We also know Duffer Brothers said that they're going to explain what the Upside Down is. I think we're going to
Oh, okay.
learn that because it's tricky. Because wasn't no, I think he was like in this other place because I don't think the Upside Down existed until 11 might have created it when she pushed 1 onto the other side.
So I was doing some research on that because I always wanted to know how the upside down came about, and
Yeah,
the only thing I've been reading because there's no really like information on it is just that it's always been there, and she just randomly put him in it. So I am curious to see if that maybe that was like some kind of trigger, which
yeah,
would be extremely weird if just that one moment created this whole crazy ass. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
world. I guess you can say that.
And then you have to then you have to explain, well, what is this creepy crawly or tentacles that are everywhere? Like that has to be
Yeah.
something. There's almost like a spore, and at the end of season 4, we saw it kind of starting to fall on everybody in Hawkins. So I've kind of like that spore or something too. Like there's like a hive mind because of these spores, and it's going to be a big mystery box. And I hope that now that they did Freddy Krueger, let's do it. Like maybe we'll see a clown killing
Mhm.
people, and who knows?
Yeah.
um,
Like holding balloons. So,
I feel like the Duffer Brothers like they wanted to make an 80s horror movie. But like what if 80s horror movie had today's CGI? And that's where we had like awesome Vecna in practical effects, but doing those kills that
yeah.
that somebody in the 80s would be like, "Oh, I wish I could make those kills happen. Like those look so cool."
Yeah.
So, that's pretty dope.
So Will draws that. This is more like just kind of theories and predictions.
Yeah.
Will draws that picture right
Mhm.
for Mike, and we get a lot of like all these villains are kind of based off Dungeons and Dragons names, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to get the Dungeons and Dragons three-headed dragon or just multiple-headed dragon in it because of
Yeah.
that painting? I'd be shocked.
It wouldn't be a shock, and dragons are so iconic to D&D that it
Yeah,
would make sense that you would have the dragon protecting his treasure at some point. I would
yeah,
like to see that. Or I can't remember what it's called, but it's something that I was just fighting in my campaign, but it's basically Cthulhu. Maybe we could have that too, like
mhm,
something so big and powerful that supersedes even Vecna. Um, yeah, there's got to be something out there that's how are you going to raise the stakes? I like the Vecna's not dead. I mean, they really whooped his
yeah,
ass though. They got his number, but
yeah,
that way we have him, and I would like to find out that he's an agent of somebody else, like somebody saved
Mm,
him when he was wandering the Upside Down. I don't know.
mm.
What to see.
Maybe like another human type of person, or are we thinking like maybe a mind flare type of
Like a
thing?
mind flayer that saw that like
Okay.
this creature is as powerful as I need him to be. Try to break the gateway between the Upside Down and here and Hawkins or whatever, so that I can get out.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
if the Upside Down existed before him, I kind of think 11 created the Upside Down by pushing him into something else.
Okay. Um, I guess my fear of this was what I had in feared in season 4, but it ended up being perfect. Was whole like the whole Joyce and Hopper and Russia and stuff, and how big it was getting. I was like, oh fuck, now we're gonna bring the military. This is not kind of being what
Yeah, yeah,
it's like how it started. So I do have a little bit of that fear again, but not
of
as
course.
much as I did because I see season 4 and it was fucking wonderful. So, um, the fear of this one is, are we just going to get a bunch of crazy ass monsters popping up to the real world? And I guess it would be military at this time because we still
Yeah.
have that officer guy.
Well, the military wants to get involved. Yeah, we are gonna have the
Yeah,
military in this,
yeah.
so we're gonna have our crew in between the military and the Upside Down. And
Hmm.
there's gonna be moments where she's gonna throw a helicopter at a mind flare
Yeah,
or something, you know?
which is totally fine.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's make shit
I,
explode.
I think
I do want
yeah,
the parents to like be involved now. At this point, the parents know that their kids are not evil, although the news keeps saying that they're evil. And this is a thing that actually
yeah,
happened in the 80s, is satanic panic thing, right? And so I want the parents to be like, look, obviously something's up with our kids. They find out about the Upside Down, and they're like, I trust you guys. You've saved the
yeah,
world, 4 times now. Let's see what you can do next.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, I'm just worried about it getting too big, but
yeah,
like
yeah.
I said, watching season 4, I kind of trust it now. I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll be fine. I just didn't kind of wanted to lose that feel. That's all.
I was really worried about the Hopper Joyce scenes because I was like, where is this going? When are they going to get back? And they didn't get back until like, the very, very end.
Yeah,
It worked out really well though. And
it did.
boy, they sure know how to use their side characters. I tell you, that warden, the prison guard or whatever, not
Yeah,
warden, but prison guard, he's from Game of Thrones. So is actually Eddie's from Game of Thrones too.
yeah.
Um, and then of course we have, I can't remember his name, but I keep seeing shirts and I want to buy one. It shows like him like in a karate stance, that side character, and it says
Murphy. Yeah,
Murphy, and it says
yeah.
what is it, the bald eagle stance or whatever, and he's like doing like a karate pose. I'm like, I need that shirt so bad. And I just like that. I love that he's like gonna go back and tell his dojo of 13-year-olds that like, guys, I fought the Russians.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so good. Oh
Man.
man,
Murphy, I guess he'd be being a character that might die in this last season because we love him so much now,
I
and
know
he
that's how they're gonna do it.
wasn't like the core, right? He came
Right.
in mostly in the last one, so season 3. So I could see that happening. He could be one of those big semi main characters, and they can't say like, "Oh, we don't kill off big character," like the
Yeah.
core cast. So
Well, this kind of goes into something. So we also got news of a brand new production company the Duffer Brothers starting called Upside
oh
Down
my god,
Productions. With
yeah,
it, they announced Death Notes. They're making a live action version of that. They're making a stage play of Stranger Things. You can watch that stuff on stage, which would be very interesting. And then they're talking about a spin-off for Stranger Things. Murphy, I think, would have a really cool spin-off. I would like a spin-off of Murphy where he's trying to like do ghost hunting basically, but it's like all
yeah,
bullshit. But he's like out there with like his crew and he's got some weird 80s kind of technology where he's trying to find the big, the Loch Ness monster or something.
yeah, yeah.
I would just love to see him on adventures, you know.
Oh man, yeah, I would like to have those like side stories, kind of like what Star Wars is doing right now.
Yeah.
But the company in making the live action Death Note series, oh my god! When I heard that, I was like, I trust these two, and this is like a top 3 favorite anime ever for me.
Oh, really?
I 100% trust in their work.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, I'm so excited for Death Note. Oh my goodness, yes.
It's hard to have that kind of trust with anybody. Even with Marvel, the last couple of movies they've been a little shaky, so you're like, Marvel doesn't hit it out of the park anymore. They used to. The last series, like I'm watching Miss Marvel and it's good. It's just not made for me, so I'm not like really excited about it. It's usually I'm like, oh man, it's Thursday. There's a new one up or Wednesday, or whatever. And this time I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's right. That came out on Wednesday. Like I feel like, you know, so
That's
I'm not as excited.
speaking of that, yeah, I'm not the I watched the first episode of Miss Marvel and I had some giggles here and there, but I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
I'm slowly seeing myself just dying off because I don't really care about anything new that's coming out with Marvel lately.
Hmm.
Moon Knight had me really interested at first, and then I was like, I just was kind of dying off at the end of that series as well.
The way
Uh,
Moon Knight, how you dying off, I'm telling you, Miss Marvel's the same thing beat for beat. Like the way it kind of
really,
expands and yeah, it's the same thing. So
I
I'm watching it,
yeah,
but meh.
they changed their powers, to be like
A
this
lot.
crystal thing, and I was like, I get you're trying to veer off from Fantastic Four, kind of like
Mhm.
what we're going to talk here shortly with the villain from Black Panther. Uh, I get it, but it's not for me. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I think Marvel's gonna it's they got a lot of good stuff in the iron in the fires right now, but right now it's like, okay, we're good for a little bit. You guys can take a break. Even when
Yeah.
Doctor, I mean, and they're using my favorite heroes too, Doctor Strange and Thor, and it's like, okay, you guys can take a break. Don't keep doing that. All right, let's talk about some other superheroes. Somebody who's actually been killing it. The Boys. We just finished up The Boys. This thing has been, I mean, full adrenaline all the way through. Are you happy with how this last season ended?
So season overall, I thought was fantastic. I loved
Yeah,
everything about it. Drama with the action wise, and then the drama and the characters battling their own like demons inside it, essentially.
yeah,
Hearing more backstories and whatnot. The final episode though, I I thought it was just fine. I
yeah.
liked how the whole each character, when you got to Frenchie, you got to Huey, and then Butcher. You kind of have these like even A Train had these stories that they're battling like inner
Inner demons. Yeah,
issues
yeah,
that
yeah,
was like outside of just being a superhero. Um, Homelander in the beginning was talking to his son and that whole drama, and the Homelander and Soldier Boy. So there was a lot of that, and that was cool. That was neat. Whatever. Even the fight scenes were nice at the very end. I like detailed fight scenes. I'm gonna talk about Invincible because those have very like action. Just like Kimiko. When Kimiko, right? Am I saying that name? Kimiko was fighting those soldiers in the room with the music blaring
I
in
think
her
that's
head.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh, Something that's so like here, hit here, shoot here, this.
Yeah,
That when there's so much into just one little scene, I love so much.
yeah, you can like feel the
Um,
impacts. You know,
Yeah, there's a couple quotes in the show that kind of just caught my attention that I was like, that doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever the case may be. Um, but overall, I thought it was okay season finale. What about
yeah.
you? I mean, kind of
I liked it
way
because I liked
different
what
or
they're setting up. So we have first off, I mean, really nobody died, right? Nobody. We have Maeve is off in the sunset, which means that she can be brought back, and then even Soldier Boy is just on ice again, so he
yeah.
too can be brought back, and he was I think a very interesting character added in this season.
Mhm.
Uh, but I liked that. I mean, you could tell it's coming down to Homelander versus his son at some point, and his son is leaving off as
Mhm.
an evil kid. It looks like the way that like obviously there's so many like we don't need to go into it, but there's so many political mirrors going on in this show,
Yeah.
obviously. But the fact that the kid was like on board with Homelander just nuking that guy's head, he like smiled when everybody was cheering back at him, and you saw the smile on the kid. And you're like, oh no, this kid could be worse than
Yeah.
Homelander. And so you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? And it's an escalation. Like you didn't think anything. Like when you look at Soldier Boy, like oh nothing's gonna be worse than Soldier Boy. Then Homelander comes along, and I mean that is 100% Anthony Starr, sorry, the guy who's the actor for Homelander. He freaking kills it just with that look. That's like I'm holding back all of the fury of the world to not kill you right now, just because
Yeah.
I need you to fill out some tax forms or something. Uh, so I really like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we
Billy
definitely
Butcher's
see
got a clock
Homelander
now
getting
too, so that's
trust.
good. What's that?
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, I guess this is kind of what I see with the whole. So, Homelander and the son. The son, they gained his trust because the whole little speech in the beginning.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna follow my dad. So now he's got the grooming stage of, hey, this is how I'm gonna raise my son. Basically, essentially like him. Um, I can kind of see it as a so with Butcher with the clock that he has now. Um, we think the one last ride is going to be killing the girl that explodes everybody's heads, right? I don't remember her name.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So, but wonder if it comes down that Butcher made a promise to his ex-wife that I'm going to protect your son, but now Butcher has to kill the son because it's going to be groomed to another Homelander.
That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. I'm wondering if there's gonna
Okay.
be a point where he has to kill his adopted son, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Or
I don't
would
know.
I don't know, or would Butcher die to prove that Homelander's evil to his son, so his son could snap out of it? I can't imagine
That's
though. I can't imagine in the end. So yeah, I can't imagine at the end that Billy Butcher's like, I'm gonna leave this world with that kid with those abilities and that possible mentality alive. Like I think it's
yeah.
impossible. I really think Homelander and the kid have to die. I mean, all
Yeah.
of them with superpowers. really have to die for this world to go back to any sort of normalcy. Vought can't exist anymore. It's just like, it's too far at this point.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Black Noir died. I
Um,
really liked Black Noir. I was hoping there would be more with him, but he got taken out like a chump at the end.
man, Homelander is so broken and so evil that it's like there's no saving him. He's 100% bad, like Nora was telling him about his dad. Like,
Yeah.
there's no good in him, right?
Hmm.
Homelander's that way,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like when you see him. I just knew it was coming. When they had that
Right.
conversation. Like, okay, I get it. Um, I do want to talk a little bit. I do want to say like some things I didn't care for. Starlight's ultimate like build up, right? With all the lights, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
all it was just a push. I'm like, oh, geez.
And it was just to knock him down. And it was like,
Yeah,
Maeve just did that.
it's,
Like, why is this a
yeah,
big deal?
with no charge up or anything, just
Yeah.
like with two hands punching. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, she said something. So she said, and there's a couple quotes in this thing, which I was like, I didn't know. That was kind of weird. So one was when she said that Thought didn't give her powers or whatever. I'm like, wasn't her mom injecting her with Compound V?
Yeah. So Vought literally gave her her powers.
Which Vought gave. Okay, so
Yeah.
like Compound V, wasn't that made by Vought? I'm like, okay, like I
Yeah.
caught that one. Come on, guys. Um, yeah, I won't go to the other ones, but it was just like two or three things that just kind of made myself like dumbfounded a little bit because
Yeah.
that just doesn't make sense to me. Um, yeah. So anyway,
I'm happy she's finally part of the boys, but she is definitely not as powerful as they try to make her out to be. Like they put her up against like there's times where she's standing up to Homelander like I'm the check to you. No, you are
it's
not.
yeah.
Homelander can nuke you. There is I really don't see anybody in this world that can beat Homelander. Even Soldier Boy couldn't fly.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody that's gonna be able to beat Homelander except for maybe Homelander's kid.
So the only I could think of Butcher, and the only reason I say that because he basically is like a Homelander when he takes the Compound V. Other than that, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
I don't think we've seen him
I got no
fly
one
though.
else. Yeah, we haven't seen him fly, but I
Yeah.
mean, basically everything else. Um, that's the
And
only thing. But then I like the sun thing, so I like your theory of like maybe Butcher, kind of doing some type of action to make his mind click to the right way.
yeah,
So,
I don't know. I really I like the Homelander character a lot. I think they do such a good job of portraying him. Is what do you think about reading the comic books? I'm thinking about reading these comics and kind of catching up to the story. I hear the show is better than the comics, though. I'll throw that out there.
oh shit, that's
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
No, I probably won't.
yeah. I think I
But
might
I would
read it
say
just so that I
that,
kind of I don't want to get spoiled, but I kind of also want to know
yeah.
what's going on and see how close it is.
Yeah, it's no shade to like not interested in the comic or anything. It's more
Yeah,
like I got a lot of stuff I'm reading right now.
of
I got a
course.
shelf right behind me full of manga, and plus I already had that idea with Invincible. So I was
Yeah.
like, I need to know what's going on. I can't wait for the next season.
We
So
need
I
somebody to
started
what
picking up Invincible.
to we need somebody
Yeah.
to read all of the Invincibles because that's gonna be so crazy. And I
Mhm.
read the first one a little bit, but I mean, yeah, from what I hear, it's just outstanding. It's probably some of Robert Kirkman's best work. So that's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm literally glued to it. I'm almost finished the volume 13, and
Shit,
it's
nice.
like, maybe I'll read some other stuff before 14. But I was like, no, I'll probably just buy this right away. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So no
I've
shade to the
basically been
boys.
just reading indie comics lately, which is kind of driving me crazy because I'm like, man, I want to read catch up on Thor. I'm behind by a couple
Mhm.
now, yada yada yada. But I haven't had a chance to read anything but indie comics lately, so I need to get some mainstream going back in my
Okay.
rotation.
Yeah, I got too much of I got a pile of comics that I pick up at the comic book store that I can't even keep up with right now. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I got a backlog for sure. So
I gotta, yeah. I wish Comixology was up to date. Like, I hate that Comixology is 6 months behind too. That drives me fucking nuts.
with the free
With
version.
well, like no, with the paid version. With the paid version, Marvel comics are not up to date. Even if you pay for Marvel Unlimited, it's like 3 months behind or something like that. Because you want to go
That's
to the
crazy.
comic book shop. I'm pretty sure I could double check that. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just for Thor, but they're not like every new one that comes out.
But do you mean for it to hit the Comixology to where you could just download it for free because you pay for the subscription?
Right.
Or okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah. If you want to pay for the comic book, you can get a day one. But I'm saying if
Yeah,
I'm paying
yeah.
a monthly rate, that I'd want to have a day one as well.
Yeah,
In my
I,
opinion.
I I agree. I mean, I agree. I still like the service because it does really pull me into like something new. So I'm loving.
Yeah.
I don't want to like do an ad for Comixology or anything, but I love the Old
Actually,
Man
maybe pretty
series.
soon we'll do that. That's a good idea. I'll have to hit him up.
I love the Old Man series. I just finished Old Man Hawkeye. I'm gonna continue reading Old Man Logan, Star Lord. Um, who else? I think Doom has one, and then it continues to a new series called Wastelanders. And oh my god, I freaking love the Hawkeye one. So um, yeah. Anyway, I don't know, no spoilers or anything. You should. I highly recommend reading those
I'll check
ones.
him out. Yeah, I've been
Yeah, yeah,
the Old Man Logan. It really kind of sparked an interest in me in like that future because the whole I know about the alternate version of Hulk and how cool that gets
yeah.
out there and stuff. So I'll have to
Hmm.
check it out.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right, we're gonna keep talking about Marvel though. Let's go ahead and go into Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We got the costumes leaked, and I like this idea of them using like Aztec Mayan culture for Atlantis because they got to do something to keep it different than Aquaman, right? I mean, what else are they gonna do?
That's because we're gonna be sitting there comparing all day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Even on the TikToks about this, I mix up the two half the time where it's like, oh yeah, not Aquaman. I mean, Namor. It's like it's hard because the two are very similar characters, and DC and Marvel copied each other for decades, so it makes sense that this happens sometimes.
Now, is Namor fully Aztec, and there's no Atlantis
Nope,
underworld? Is that what they're doing, or how are they doing it?
he's part human. He is part human, and he's actually
Yeah.
considered a mutant, and part Atlantean. And the Atlanteans are blue. He's half human, half Atlantean.
So are they making Atlantia? What the fuck?
Atlantis is an Aztec. So according to what I've been
Okay.
hearing, in this isn't necessarily Marvel Comics. I'm not positive on the Marvel Comics side, but for the
Mm,
MCU, they're making it as the like Aztec Mayan
okay.
region. A group of them went to the ocean essentially, and
Okay.
so
Okay.
yeah,
I know that they're trying to keep it totally separate, and I didn't know if they were making the whole big move of taking Atlantis out of the water and making it to this like Mayan culture feel.
that would be too
So
big of a move. Yeah, if it
yeah,
was like not a water kingdom at all,
yeah, I don't
that would
know.
be
Yeah,
talk about keep it different than Aquaman. Um,
yeah.
Well, what do you think about the okay, so we have, we have our Namor here. He has, like, the big chunky gold pieces that you'd expect from, like, Aztec armor and stuff like that. We have his normal mode and then fighter mode. What do you think about this costume so far?
Well, first of all, besides fighter mode, I like your Super Saiyan mode, like you said in
Yeah.
your TikTok. So, I think it's nice, right? So Namor's not really anything besides some spandex, right? But
Yep.
I like how they put this the bracelets and this necklace on him to kind of let it add a little bit more flair to it. So I like
Mhm.
the whole fact that they're keeping it true, but adding that spark to it. Is there anything that you would have seen? I mean, the fight mode is cool, right? That whole
Yeah, the
brown
head yeah.
essentially on him. But it's like almost is that just going to be for certain scenes to show like, hey, I'm the king, essentially?
I can
Probably.
we don't see his feet in the normal mode, but we do in his fighter mode, and in that one, he has the wings on his boots, which is a very important part of Namor's
Okay. Okay.
move set. So if he has those boots on every time, then he'll. But if not, then this is gonna be how he fights. But the headdress is way too big for him to fight in. I would
Yeah.
say, it's kind of like that old Batman thing where you can't move your neck at all. Is what he's gonna
Yeah.
be running into. Um, but it looks very dope, and I do like the idea of. Well, okay, let's talk. Let's do this. Let's talk about the other Atlanteans. We have one. We have a tuna set, and it looks almost kind of like it's not royal. So that's what I like is Namor's. You could tell like, oh, that dude's a king. While you look at the normal Atlanteans, you're like, oh, okay. Normally they have some Atlanteans, some ocean theme stuff going on. There's not a lot of ocean theme going on with the Namor set, but there is definitely when you see like a tuna. What do you think about like that straight up Atlantean look?
Oh man, this looks freaking hard to me, man. It's almost like it's taking obviously like the headpiece. I can't really tell because it's just art, but it's like a bones of like a hammerhead shark or
Right.
something like the weapons or pieces of like this underwater, lifestyle. Fucking everything about this is what I super love because it's brutal. But
Right.
comparing it to Neymar, it's like I said, it's more Aztec-y, but I do like the difference because it's like here's my royalness kind of the
Yes.
features, and then here's everyone else essentially. But man, these guys look hard, man. I love it. Yeah.
What I like about it, like you're saying, if you were to see this guy in just regular Mayan culture, you might see him with like a pelt on him, maybe like a
Hmm.
jaguar pelt on him or something like that. But instead, you're seeing him with a hammerhead shark helmet. Like it's
Yeah.
like they're still hunting out there. It's just the prey changed, so their armor suits that. The blue skin, it might be a little interesting to see how they're gonna. I mean, we have the Avatar movie, so we know that that can be done reasonably well. But it's gonna be weird to see like a whole people of blue skin while you have just Namor out there like chilling out in his normal skin tones. That'll be a
Yeah,
little bit
I mean,
odd, but
you said he was half breed, right?
yeah,
Um,
he's half human mutant. He's
yeah, so it's
considered
kind of
in Marvel. He's considered the first mutant in Marvel comics, like that came out.
what I could see a little bit of like drama in between, like followers and whatnot. Can the Atlanteans like fully follow Namor because of his
Right.
like bloodline and whatnot? And he's not one of us, you know. He's not blue skinned, you know, stuff like
Exactly
that.
what they did in
So
Aquaman. Yeah.
yeah. So I can see that inner drama,
Yeah.
but um, within the whole big picture. So I feel it's
Will
brutal.
will they make Namor fully a bad guy?
I have no, and I'm gonna say sorry, but fucking trust in any villain anymore. I am so tired of it. I'm so tired of Venom being an anti-villain. I'm so tired of hearing about oh god, the fucking Hunter, Craven. I'm
Mhm.
hearing him being an anti-villain now, and it's like I'm so just give me a villain. I'm scared that when we watch Black Adam, that's just gonna be the same shit. It's
Oh,
like
that's definitely they're definitely making Black Adam a good guy.
I'm
I
so tired
guarantee it.
of that shit, man. I'm
Yeah.
so fucking tired of it, man. Just make a villain movie and make it have the ending to where the villain is the winner.
Yeah, Empire
Come
Strikes Back
on,
mode.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so
And it's
tired of it.
okay with the villain making sense. Like if you think of Thanos, the dude is just straight up a bad guy. He killed his own daughter. But
Yeah,
he is trying to try to like save resources. He's trying to kill off half the universe. So it like
yeah,
makes sense, but he's still an evil asshole. I mean, there's no
yeah,
cleaning that up.
yeah,
But you don't also think that Thanos is going to team up with, Tony Stark and fight somebody. Like that's just not going to happen,
yeah.
So yeah, I like the idea of like let's just keep somebody full villain. But Namor is an anti-hero sometimes in the comic books. Lately he's been more villainy, but so I could see them kind of saving him. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Well, it could be the whole bit inner the Atlanteans wanting to overthrow, like, say the Mayan type people, I guess you could say, because he's
Mhm.
gonna have a following in that area as well, right? And
Mhm.
they're getting too big, so that conflict gets too much, and then they need like Wakanda to kind of help out with them, and then since Wakanda helped the Aztec version of them, those people, that's their team up probably. I don't know. I'm just predicting
Maybe,
shit.
yeah. I mean, Namor versus Black Panther is one of the original. Like that's like the OG. Like when they announced Black Panther was coming out, you're like, oh, Namor's coming soon. Then because it's like you're
Yeah,
not gonna have one without the other. That's the other side of the coin
yeah,
of what is Wakanda gonna look like now. We know it's gonna be much more of an assembly cast, ensemble. There it is, and we know that Shuri is gonna be the new Black Panther from
yeah.
the new art that was released as well, which has a lot of people up at arms. There's actually been a pretty good call, and I will say this is people's opinions. There's a lot of people are just saying recast T'Challa. T'Challa's too important of a character representation wise to not have in the MCU. And it's like, I could see what you're saying there. That kind of makes sense. So I
And I said
can't
it
imagine
before.
doing
It's
it
like
though.
we just didn't get enough of T'Challa, right? And it's
Yeah.
obviously it's that situation. So, but we know like later on in the comics, they made Shuri as the new Black Panther.
Right.
So it's like it sucks that it already had to happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, eventually it's bound to happen, I guess.
Yeah. Instead of three Black Panthers, then a Shuri, we got one and then a Shuri.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So any I look at this image of her outfit that they did, and I love that it looks like they spent so much time in her fucking jumpsuit. And that's sarcastic, by the way.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I think I got this at Walmart last week actually. Yeah, it's that's definitely her just
wow.
hanging out watching Netflix. That's definitely not
Yeah.
her fighting at all. Although she does have a fighting stance. You know what? I will say she doesn't have those goofy ass panthers on her hands. So I'm happy
Yeah.
with that from the movie. Those old panther guns were so stupid when she came out and started punching with those. I'm like, oh man, what the shit is this? I know you're gonna become Black Panther someday. Why are you using those? Those are rough to
What
watch.
what do we I think are we gonna follow Shuri's old outfit when she had kind of had like which I think it was when she dressed up to watch T'Challa fight for like the throne or whatever the case may be, but when
I
she has the
love that
markings
outfit. That thing
painting.
was awesome. Yeah, she had like
Yeah.
the dots. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Obviously with some technology, but I could see her. I'm trying to think of what they're going to embrace T'Challa, right? They have to have those sentimental
Yeah.
feels, right? Because that's going to hit obviously everyone. And I'm thinking it might be like the necklace, man. I think she's gonna be rocking that his own
Yes.
necklace. I think it's gonna be given to her to
Well, and I
kind
think in the
of
comic books when she took it
symbolize.
over, she had like a bigger necklace. Well, maybe it was bigger on her, but she also had like a fur that was around her too, as in Black Panther form,
Okay.
wasn't she? I remember correctly.
I'm not very. I've seen like one issue of her. I read
Yeah,
one issue of her, and then it's just I'm not just. I'm just old school.
yeah.
Hated these new characters.
Dude, I'm telling you, with recent Marvel, I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I just want Tony Stark back. I mean, even I, who has of our group been the one that's been like, hey, let's give this person a shot. Let's give this a shot.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
at the point now where like, I just want Tony Stark. I don't care anymore. I don't
It's
care
like
what magic you have to do, different reality. I don't care. Pocket dimension. Just give me Tony
yeah.
Stark being Iron Man. That's all I want.
Yeah, I see Ironheart, and I'm just like, I don't want this. I don't
I,
want this. I can see Peter Parker being the next Iron Man type with the whole gadgets
yes.
and technologies.
I
That's fine.
100% want
Yeah,
that. I just want fucking
yeah,
Peter. I just want Tony Stark back. It's after watching Doctor Strange, not Thor. After watching Doctor Strange, I was like, shit, we went too far. This is too much. This is not
yeah.
good.
Oh god, man, that movie fucking garbage to me. But anyway,
It
yeah.
sucks. I know. Yeah, okay. All right, let's go ahead. We're gonna take a break on. Let's go into our headlines. We'll just go right to the headlines. We'll skip the next part we had planned here. So just for the edit wise, have you done one where we had the headlines like this before?
No, I have not.
Okay. So basically, we're just gonna go. I'm just gonna like list these out real fast, and then you interject with anything you might want to say at the end of anything you want to talk about. But
Okay.
this is just like these are the things that are too small to actually have a discussion on, basically.
Okay.
All right, let's get into our headlines here. Daredevil will be in 3 out of 6 episodes of Echo, including Kingpin, but Kingpin's going to be in probably more episodes. He's a bigger character. Oculus will no longer require a Facebook account. So basically, Facebook is having a hard time with their PR. They don't want to be tied to Oculus anymore. Rockstar is shifting focus to GTA 6, stopping their remakes. They're going to do Red Dead Redemption 1 and GTA 4, but they're stopping those, and they're stopping the support for Red Dead Online. They're going to go everything on GTA 6. Howard Stern might have leaked a role in an unannounced Doctor Doom project. We don't know if this is a TV show or a movie, but it is a hot mic, and you guys can listen to the footage. I think we actually put it on Instagram. You actually listen to the audio. There's like ads playing. You can hear Howard Stern talking underneath it, saying like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be in Doctor Doom." Analysis show that 2022 is gonna be a decline in the gaming industry. A lot of this is due to the fact that during the pandemic, everybody started gaming, and at this point now, people are getting back to work and it's getting fired up again. So gaming is going to decline. That's not to say there hasn't been really good games. And then lastly, E3 has been confirmed for June 2023. And yes, Geek Freaks will be there. That's our headlines. Anything specifically you want to call out?
Yeah, the Daredevil one. So I think we got Daredevil showing up in Spider-Man and Kingpin showing up in Hawkeye, and I think they're doing great with those roles. So I don't see why we need to take them away. I mean, there's a fan base for them, especially with the whole Netflix series of all the series of Iron Fist and Luke and whatnot. Those two would definitely be ones I want to see back. Rockstar is shifting everything to Grand Theft Auto 6, which is I think something that needs to happen with all their future games. So I'm playing Red Dead Redemption right now. I'm trying to finish it. And I just remember like, fuck, man, I wish I would have just stayed playing this game. This game's great. So why
It
are we
is.
going backwards to do remasters? I'm so tired of remasters right now. Let's get the new stuff. I want to see new gameplay and updated graphics. Stop focusing on redone shit to make some money. Like, make the new stuff, you
Yeah.
know? And E3 come back. Christmas has come back
Yeah.
to us, essentially. And I remember just we came to your house once,
Yeah.
and when E3 was going on, or it was Jonathan's house,
My house.
whoever, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then just sitting there watching like popcorn or whatever the case may be,
Oh yeah.
just loving every minute of it, and everyone all just being excited for all coming together, being excited for one thing. So that's awesome that it's in person this time finally.
I love that Jeff Keighley, Jeff Keighley, who does the Game Awards, and he's been trying to launch a Summer Game Fest when E3's been shaking up. And I love that he's like 3 hours after ESA announced that E3's coming back in full and everything like that, and they're actually using Reed Pop, who does PAX East and all that. So, 3 hours he posted, by the way, Summer Game Fest coming out. And that dude got so much shit online. People were just like, nah, we're going to E3, bro. Like, it was so many people just be like, nah, E3's back, we're good. And like, he tried so much to launch a new E3 while E3 was gone. And it's just like, nah, bro, we're going back to E3. What are you talking about? I've not seen one positive comment under that thread. It's just been constantly like, nah, I'd rather do this. And it's just like linking off to the E3 announcement. It's like, sorry, man.
Goodness gracious.
But we'll be there, dude. We're getting a hotel. We're gonna party like it's 1999, man. I still have
Yeah,
on this wall here the bulletin board with the calendar and like that, the agreement that I signed with ESA to be able to be media partners with them
that's
back
just
in
your
2019.
that's the dream, the goal, your what do you call it? Motivation to get
Yeah.
back there.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're gonna make it
yeah.
happen. Um, yeah, so much good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and we'll discuss Thor just a little bit. No spoilers, okay, guys. All right, so Thor: Love and Thunder. I will tell you guys right now, if you're gonna read reviews online, they will not be good. Reviews for this movie are not good, mixed at best. I will tell you right now, I had a lot of fun watching it. The music is badass. It's tongue in cheek on purpose. So like it's cheesy action, especially in the beginning, on purpose. And it's like you even see like the Guardians of the Galaxy rolling their eyes when he's like kicking over tanks and stuff. And I felt emotional when I wanted me to feel emotional. I laughed when it wanted me to laugh, and I really enjoyed the film. It is definitely not a perfect film, structure wise, and like a lot of stuff was like, okay, well, that's not good. But I would say it's definitely worth the watch in theaters. I look forward to rewatching it, but that might not necessarily be something you want to do. I would say it's such a spectacle that it's worth watching in theaters, and the highlight for sure is Christian Bale. Christian Bale as Gore, the God Butcher. There were moments where he was like kind of torturing these kids, and he straight up looked like a Pennywise. So good, and his personality was so good. It is not Gore from the comic books. We actually talk about that on From the Pages. Go check out it's free on Patreon right now. But he he was awesome. He didn't have to look like Gore to be awesome. But you've been hearing pretty negative reviews on this thing, right?
I just been hearing it's too jokey. They made Thor like a
Yeah,
clown. That serious moments at specific times cannot land emotionally. I mean, I know you said you felt it, but some people cannot have that emotional connection because there's just a joke right after it.
yeah.
It kind of makes me fear for Taika Waititi. I'm saying that name right? I
Taika
believe so.
Waititi.
Waititi, because I loved his other stuff with like Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah,
But then it's like you make this stuff, and it's like can I really trust you with the next? I mean, I know the Star Wars thing got put on hold, whatever the case may
yeah.
be, but can I even really trust you anymore? So that's a scary thing. But yeah, I mean, that's the majority I've ever heard. You said something with, I guess, no spoilers. You said that, oh God, the God Butcher
Mhm.
um, was you saying image wise or story background as well, not comic book accurate?
They're both not 100%. Like, so first
Okay.
off, image wise, I mean, he looks more human than ever because, of course, they
Yeah.
didn't want to do the whole CGI thing. But it works really well because Christian Bale, you could like Christian Bale's got that face where
Yeah.
like that's Christian Bale. Whether or not he's
Hmm.
gained 50 pounds for a role or lost 50 pounds, that's
Yeah.
definitely him.
Hmm.
But story wise too, I actually did not care for the way they launched his story off because in the comics, Gore doesn't believe in the gods for more realistic reasons than what they do in the show, in the movie. In the movie, it's much more like plain for the easy to understand people. But in the comic books, it's kind of more impactful. And I liked it that way. But
Yeah, so
it's whatever.
like, the reason why I asked you because I kind of liked his backstory, and I had a theory of like maybe bringing Venom in there
Yeah, I know
because of
you
the
did.
symbiote
Yeah, of
thing. I
course.
was like, oh god,
That
let's do it.
Necroblade
But
does
no,
not
it's
touch that, by the way. Does not touch Venom at all.
okay.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
fuck.
I know.
But because it
Even
was like,
even the fact that I'll just say real quick, they do show Noel's laying on the ground, and you're like, "That's Noel!" Like, do something with that, but they don't even mention it, and they even make it, dude. I'm
damn.
not gonna like spoil too much or anything like that,
Hmm.
but they make it sound like that the sword just passes from one person to another the entire time. It's like, no, it fucking doesn't.
What
That
the
is,
fuck? So
yeah,
there's no like, okay. So I get okay. So I get the image thing because you don't want it to look like too much like Baltimore. That's
yeah,
what
yeah,
popped up, and I was like, shit, I didn't even think about that, but that was a good call.
yeah.
But you're saying like now there's no like, okay, I know he didn't believe in the gods, whatever the case may be, and then he sees this fight, so he doesn't see a fight between
No,
gods, and then gets this
well,
motherfucker.
he does see that a fight had happened. This is like in the first
Okay,
5 minutes, guys. So I'm not spoiling anything really major. He does see that
it's
a
comic
fight,
book, yeah.
right? He does see that the fight had happened, and he sees that Noel is dead. But they basically bitch out on Noel 100%. Like they say that it's a person killing gods, but they don't say like it's Noel who created everything symbiote. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
and then Everblack and with Necrosword, it's a little different. But the shadow, like the way he uses shadow and darkness was very cool. This is a
Okay.
very cool gore, but it's just not comic book gore, which is I
Mm.
mean that's comic book movies par. But there was some missed opportunity with setting up Null, and they just
Mm,
like you could tell they're never going to use him, and that's a shame.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That's kind of a bummer. Shit.
yeah.
Speaking of
It's
Nolan, real quick,
it's worth a watch though.
uh,
Mhm.
did you hear the rumor of if there's this possible, the Force Unleashed movies or games?
Yeah,
There was a possibility if that happens that Nolan would play, or Christian Bell would play the fucking apprentice, Darth Vader's apprentice.
dude. Oh my god, I would pre-order my ticket a year in advance.
Oh my god,
Oh
yeah, he
shit,
did.
and the next one after too. I'd make sure to watch it twice the same day. He's so good at everything he
He,
does.
he is.
Man,
It's
that'd be
great.
amazing. I'm happy for the Cal Kestis rumors that are going around. That sounds like it's actually going to happen. They're going to get a Jedi Fallen Order series because I just finished that game when that rumor came out. So I was like, oh, I'm hella into this game right now. This is perfect
Yeah.
timing. So that'd be
If it's
great.
not serious, I could definitely see like him popping up in the universe because he's getting too much talk now. Besides
Yeah,
just a series that they're releasing stuff at Disneyland itself for Star Wars, like
yeah.
exclusive
This you get the
lightsabers and stuff.
sabers,
So I'm
which I
like,
do
oh,
want to
okay,
get. Yeah.
yeah. But I'm like, oh, okay, like there's too much now going on to where we don't have him. So
Especially for a game with such a high skill cap. Like if it was a game like a Lego
yeah,
Star Wars game that's kind of just easy, it's one thing. But this game is actually kind of a high skill cap. You have to be decent at dodging and whatnot.
yeah,
So if they're if it's something that they're making so mainstream and the only way to do it is playing a difficult game, then okay, yeah, you're going to be showing them somewhere else. You know,
yeah.
we'll have to see. Taika Waititi though, I do still trust him. This is like Jojo Rabbit, the Hitler parts. Boy, that sounds weird, but yeah, it's all about Hitler. No,
Parts.
oh god,
Goodness gracious.
yeah. But
Oh
you know how
man.
like the Hitler joking around with the boy stuff?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
part
Which
is very
were
much Thor. And that is very
okay.
much Taika Waititi. The serious parts of Jojo Rabbit, which were heartbreaking, is
Yeah.
less Taika Waititi. But, you know, like What We Do in the
Okay.
Shadows, which I've suggested to you 400 times, and the new season coming out next week is very much Taika Waititi. So if you like that stuff, then yeah, you'll like Thor, and hopefully the next Star Wars is going to be something like that too. We'll have to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hmm.
All right, what are your recommendations for the week, man?
Oh shit, man. This is kind of sad to be honest. It's not a recommendation because everyone's already played this, but I just downloaded Banjo Kazooie. So like,
Yeah, if you're stuck
I
in
don't know why.
1997 and you need something for your N64, check out Banjo and Kazooie. What?
Can I be stuck in 1994 to be honest?
Yeah, can I go back to? Ah, man.
Let's see. I'm not really playing anything new wise. I'm just trying to catch up on
Yeah, give me
games. So
something
like
that you're reading, something that you're watching. It doesn't have to be a game.
reading wise, okay, I'm jumping ahead because of spoilers, right? I just said about that Invincible, but I
Mhm.
just my the wife let me buy this big box set of Demon Slayer, so I'm been stuck on reading that because it's just continues to be great.
Yeah.
Um, Playing wise, I'm not playing anything new. Movie wise, I mean, I know it's not. I've said it to you, and I know we talked about it, it's not really pop culture, but I gotta say, the fucking Elvis movie is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Visually, story wise, music, and it's not just Elvis's music. There's scenes where they put rap music in it, and it just
Oh,
like
wow.
somehow fits. Yeah, it's somehow. I'm sitting there watching it, and I turn to my wife, and I'm just saying, this movie is surprising me like almost every minute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so
You're a
good.
fan of those musical biopics too. Like you were ahead of it on Bohemian Rhapsody, you were ahead of it on the Elton
Yeah,
Rocket
yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't know that it kinda shocked me. Rocket Man turned more into a musical, but this is not really a musical, this is just like a live thing, but they are
Yeah.
playing the music, so like you said, the music
Yeah, of
by
course.
kid. Um, yeah, I guess so. I kinda just don't realize that, but yeah, I kinda watch them right away.
Yeah.
Kinda interesting.
You're a big fan.
Hmm, good
Anything with
catch.
Tom Hanks and I'm gonna watch. I'll definitely be watching it at some point
Yeah,
because it's Tom Hanks. So
and he's great, of course, yeah.
my
How about you?
suggestion
Do
of the
you
week is Tunic. Go check out Tunic, guys. If you like
okay,
classic Zelda games, it's a lot of fun. It's part of Game Pass. It was about a 12 to 14 hours. It got real hard at the end. It got really hard. Like I've seen so many people say, like, yeah, I beat the entire game except for the final boss because she's unkillable. And I did have to toggle on easy mode basically to take down her because I was like, oh my god, she's just coming at you with everything. It's light on story until the very end. At the very end, all of a sudden the story starts making sense, and you're like, oh shit! Like you start to realize what was going on. Um, what's really cool about the game is you walk in with no information, and you're discovering pages of an old like Game Informer. Like when you used to buy the game guidebooks for your games, you're basically
yeah,
discovering those pages, and then you're like, oh shit! So if I press spacebar in this, I do this. Okay, I didn't know that until I randomly found this page of an old game guide to the game I'm playing right now.
That's
And
pretty neat.
yeah, and even the language starts to decipher itself as you find more of these pages of the books, which is pretty cool. And like you won't have any maps until you find the pages. You're like, oh, hold on. So if I put this map with this one, oh shit, I can go over here. And so yeah, it's pretty neat that way. But check out Tunic, guys. It's on Game Pass and it's totally worth a play.
Thanks.
All right, I think that's it for this week. Got anything else you want to close out with?
No, I'm good. Go, play your Banjo Kazooies and Donkey Kong 64s.
Yeah, fucking Nintendo put out Diddy Kong 64 already. I'm so tired of of adding you guys on Twitter. All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.